From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin. All across Nigeria, we bring you information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin. All across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV.
For joining us on the news at noon. My name is Grace Nwafo. A founding member of the People's Democratic Party, Professor Jerry Garner, has claimed that former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi would defeat any contender in Nigeria's northern state if he contested on the PDP platform. He said Peter Obi under the PDP will defeat any candidate in the northern state because they are very fair-minded. Reflecting on the PDP's roots, the PDP chieftain reminded Nigerians of the party's grassroots strength and its pivotal role in restoring democratic governance. Garner, who served in key positions during Nigeria's transition to democracy, including Minister of Information and Corporation from 1999 to 2003 under President Obasanjo, also hinted at equity in party zoning. And from KB State, Governor Nasser Idris of KB State has flagged off the distribution of learning materials, vehicles and motorcycles valued at 2.7 billion naira to public schools across the state. Speaking during the flag-off ceremony in Benin, Kebbi, the governor emphasized his administration's commitment to free and quality education, describing Kebbi as not only an agrarian state, but also an education state. The materials distributed include textbooks, exercise books, computers, vehicles and motorcycles aimed at strengthening teaching and learning in public schools. The governor further highlighted his administration's achievement, including the renovation and furnishing of over 2,000 schools, the construction of mega schools across the 4 emirates, and the release of 2 billion naira to settle registration fees for indigenous students. He also announced the recruitment of 2,000 teachers as part of a broader employment drive that has seen 5,000 professionals, including health workers and legal personnel, hired within 2 years. Reaffirming his commitment to teachers' welfare, Governor Idris records spearheading the national campaign to extend teachers' retirement age from 35 to 40 years during his tenure as NUT president, a policy which his administration has already domesticated. The Yobe state government has approved over 40 billion naira for capital projects across the state. The approval was announced by the Commissioner for Information, Home Affairs and Culture, Abdullahi Bego, after the state executive meeting presided over by Governor Maibuni in Damaturu. The commissioner said the council approved 1.7 billion naira for the construction of office complex to accommodate 5 state government agencies, stating an additional 962.65 million naira was approved for the construction of a dedicated office building for the Yobe Investment Company Limited. The government also ratified approvals for the development of modern markets across various local government areas, including 2.7 billion naira for for the Mashina Modern Market, 3 billion naira for the Gaydam Modern Market, and 3.9 billion naira for the completion of the Port Kisum Modern Market. These and other approvals reflect Governor Buni's commitment to improving infrastructure, strengthening public services, and boosting livelihoods across the state. This is still the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Television. Still to come news from the foreign scene and the world of sport. Stay with us. Glad to know that you're still there. If you're just joining us, this is the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Television. Over now to the foreign scene. Ukrainian officials say at least 6 people were killed and more than 50 others wounded in a barrage of Russian drone and missile attacks that struck several districts of Kyiv and brought down an apartment block. One of the dead was a 6-year-old, and the head of Kyiv military administration said the death toll could rise, with damages in more than 24 locations. Russian attacks have continued despite US President Donald Trump's threat to impose tougher sanctions on Moscow if Putin does not agree to a ceasefire by August 8. And still coming from Ukraine, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has urged his allies to bring about regime change in Russia as after a Russian drone and missile attack on Kyiv killed 7 people, including a 6-year-old boy. The overnight strikes reduced part of the 9-story building apartment in Kyiv's western suburb to rubble and wounded dozens of others. Meanwhile, the Russian army claimed to have captured Chasiv Yar, a strategically important hillside town in eastern Ukraine, where the two sides have been fiercely fighting for months. Moscow, on their part, has stepped up its deadly aerial assault on Ukraine in recent months, resisting US pressure to end its nearly 3.5-year invasion as its forces grind forward on the battlefield. Speaking virtually to a conference marking 50 years since the signing of the Cold War-era Helsinki Accords, Zelensky said he believed Russia could be pushed to stop the war. And from Gaza, more than 50 Palestinians were killed and 400 others injured while waiting for food near a crossing in northern Gaza. Footage showed casualties from the incident near the Zikim crossing being taken on carts to Al-Shifa Hospital in Gaza City. Gaza's Hamas-run civil defense agency said Israeli forces fired at the crowds gathered around aid lorries. The Israeli military said troops fired warning shots but was not aware of any casualties. Witkoff is due to meet Israeli officials who are considering punitive measures against Hamas after ceasefire and hostage release deal talks stalled last week. He is also expected to visit aid distribution sites run by the controversial Israeli and US-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation amid growing international outrage over the dire humanitarian situation in the Palestinian territory. And from the world of sports, the Super Eagles Team B will face the Zanzibar national side today in their second and final friendly game before the commencement of the 2024 CHAN tournament, which will be held in Tanzania, Uganda and Kenya beginning from Saturday. Both sides met in the first leg of the encounter on Monday at the Mao Zedong Stadium, with them ending goalless. Led by national team coach Eric Chell, the Super Eagles B dominated the first leg of the encounter but didn't do to breach their opponent's defense. Nigeria, the 2018 runners-up, is in Group D of the 19-team tournament alongside cup holders Senegal, Sudan and Congo. With that, we've come to the end of the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Television. Do stay tuned for more programs to be coming your way. My name is Grace Nwafo. Have a lovely afternoon.
From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From